disparities between the states. Louisiana doing really well. Some of its neighbors, and I mean, neighbor within sharing state lines, not doing nearly as well.
Yeah, so it's really interesting when you look at, we'll do in a little while, but we'll talk about Florida and Alabama here in a couple of minutes. But look at how different nearby states rank. You would think that along the Gulf Coast and the Southeast, that every state would be first in line compared to the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast to have the strongest building codes. What we're talking about is, minimum legal requirements.
In what ways is Florida in particular really outpacing other states?
Well, I think it is, bottom line, along with other states like Virginia and New Jersey and recently Louisiana, keeping up with the latest building codes. So they're adopting and updating their building codes routinely. Because building materials, their building code, they did it last year. And now that's not to say there aren't some battles going on in Florida. We talked recently about how some of the builders are against the strengthening of the building codes. They want to revert. So there's still battles going on, but I think keeping that building code really, really strong is what's keeping Florida ahead. And they're doing a pretty good job of licensing contractors. Florida is the only state that has a perfect roof. So knowing in Florida that it's going to get done right, that expectation has gone way up.
Can I ask you a question about Florida, though? They have some of the highest insurance rates in the country at the building codes that they have now. What would people be paying in insurance?
Oh, gosh.
Would you even be insurable in Florida?
Well, that's a struggle enough as it is. So if we didn't have the strong building codes, I think the long-term viability of living in Florida would be very much in question. But, roof work getting done that isn't needed, so they've put some laws in place now, and that's part of the reason why their score is so high for licensing contractors now. Now, they do need to keep educating the people who enforce the building codes, and they need to keep fighting back against the opposition so that we don't lose ground. But Florida is a model for other states, and a very nearby state is Alabama that has been making improvements. But the key is in Alabama you still don't have a statewide building code.
Is that the main reason for the lower scores?
Yes.
And I mean, we're talking very low.
Yes, and that is the main thing that needs to happen in Alabama, is therefore to be a statewide minimum legal requirement for how homes need to be built. And you can't enforce. The coastal communities have done exceptionally well. There are thousands of fortified homes in Mobile and Baldwin counties that fared very well. This all happened kind of after Ivan and Katrina. And then a lot of these homes on the Alabama coast did very well in Sally, just like a lot of the homes in Ian did very well in Florida because of the strong building code. So it's not like the whole state of Alabama is behind. But the coastal communities are setting the standard. I know you're thinking, well, those are the coastal counties. They're the only ones that need it. No, hurricanes are an inland event too.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to be looking at more state-by-state regionally comparisons coming up here on Weather Underground. And of course, don't forget, our coverage continues on the Weather Channel. Storm Center, they pick up right after us, beginning at 5 o'clock.